Welcome back to the On Switch. We target valuable information for those out there seeking to join this community of ours where we feel as though ownership is key. We have a nice, wonderful guest today. I know her as Mimi. We're going to call her Mia Ford for today. We can go back and forth and talk about all the great things she's done. A formal model, a formal business owner of her own. She's a club owner, working with club owners as we speak. Miss Mia Ford, how you doing?
I'm good. How are
you doing? Tell me a little bit. First of all, happy belated Mother's Day.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So tell me a little bit about yourself, man. What's going on? What got you in here today?
Oh, where do we begin?
I don't know. You tell me where we begin.
You know, life has been a journey.
Yeah.
Okay. A big journey. I've done some traveling, and I'm originally from Wisconsin, lived in Texas.
Okay.
Lived Las Vegas, California, Miami, kept going back to Texas. Okay. Now I'm here in Maryland.
Kept going back to Texas.
Yeah, I'm a Texas girl.
I mean, it's love out there. I've been there a few times, and I really like it. It's love out
amazing.
there.
I love it. Okay. It's home for me.
Home for you? Okay.
Yeah. Maryland's been nice to me, but Texas is home.
So we've been all right. We've been good to you.
You've been all right.
So we kind of, a lot of people come here from other places, and they be like, y'all kind of remind me of home.
I don't get that.
You don't get that? No, you don't get that here.
You know, it's the East Coast.
East Coast.
So it's the city swag.
Okay.
Texas is southern.
A lot of southern. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I go for that. So that's where you so you were a formal model. You started in modeling. How long you was in modeling?
About 25 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you started in Houston?
No, in Dallas.
In Dallas, okay.
I was scouted in Las Vegas. That's where it created. And then it, with just meeting the people and being in their surroundings, and introduced me to a lot of photographers, excuse me, business people who own magazines. And then it went into Dallas and then expanded LA, Miami, mostly Dallas.
Okay, so they seen that beautiful face. They was like, "Oh no, we got to get her. We got to get her on the screen somewhere."
Thank you. Yes, I guess so.
So that's what happened. So you started there. So what's some of the things that like kind of inspired you to get into it, or it just came to you? It was an opportunity that just came to you.
You know, I never was interested.
Okay.
I loved music. I loved to see the fashion growing up as a young girl. You idolize some of the artists, and always kind of wished you could be something, growing up, the little girl, the little dreams. Yeah. But to be honest, I was the only daughter in the family, had 3 brothers, so I was a tomboy. I was really into sports and football, so you never would see me in a dress. Okay. Makeup, nothing. Okay. And when I was living in Vegas, I was staying at a resort with a girlfriend of mine that came to visit, and Playboy had their scouts out. Okay. And they saw me get out of a limo. So they made it their mission to locate me.
Track you down.
Yes.
You said, yeah, track
and
you down.
It was unreal to me. I was like, me? Why would Playboy want me?
So why would you think just me? You know?
Yeah, I never looked at myself in that way.
Okay.
It was,
I hear that a lot. So I understand. So they see a diamond. And you like, little old me?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So that's cute. So once they do their scouting and they actually get in contact with you, where did it go from there?
We did some test shoots.
Okay.
They flew me out to Amsterdam, and we did a couple shoots for some calendars.
Test shoot? I thought they would do the test shoot where you went.
The test shoot passed.
Oh yeah.
But they sent me overseas to do some calendars.
Right off the break, huh? They said, we ain't gonna play with her. We're gonna throw it right in there.
It was fun. It didn't last long.
Okay.
But it was fun.
I know that travel was good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the travel was fun.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That opened my eyes to a lot in that world. I was very naive.
Okay.
But as a young girl, wow.
Right.
I'm a Playboy, So it was exciting.
I'm sure you met some real interesting people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Care to share?
Oh. I can't say names and things.
Okay.
No.
We ain't going with the name. We definitely not going with the name. Okay, so do you remember walk us through one of the memorable jobs you had and like what stood out to you about that memorable job and why.
As far as a model,
Yes.
Playboy was definitely, I think, the most memorable, only because it was my first time ever in that field, dealing with high celebrities.
Okay.
And I don't want to say I was starstruck, but I was stunned as a young girl, not knowing, I mean,
Right.
you look at me like that, and I'm around all these people. I met Hugh Hefner.
Okay.
It was just astounding. So that changed my life in a lot of ways.
So when you met Hugh Hefner, you were at what age at this point?
Oh my God, I was 22.
22. Okay. 22. You see all these other 20-year-old, 22-year-old, 25-year-old girls running around. You like?
I didn't get to meet too many of the women. I met a few.
Okay.
Very beautiful girls, of course. I still didn't think I fit in that caliber at that time.
Oh, okay.
So, the Playboy thing was a very short experience. I didn't make the main cut.
Oh, yeah.
But it opened doors to other venues of the modeling. So I really don't even know. It was a whirlwind of how I even met half the photographers I met. My face just was popping up.
Okay.
So I was introduced to King magazine. I did some digital print.
Okay.
That opened up doors for Maximum.
Okay. So what year was this with King, if you can remember?
King was 2009.
2009.
Yeah.
Okay. So that King led to
Maximum magazine.
Okay.
I was interviewed for Him magazine. Local magazines in Dallas was Stax magazine, Undiscovered magazine. I made the covers of those and centerfolds.
Okay.
And with all of that being, models would be hired to host in venues, and you meet all the celebrities.
Right. Yeah. So shout out to the boys down in Texas. They be doing their thing.
They really do.
Yeah. That's what's up. So, all right, you in modeling. You figuring it out. You went from you seen the Playboy magazine, then you seen the King, then you going to different things. What were some of the biggest challenges that you faced in modeling, and like how did you overcome them?
The challenges were in the industry, and I don't want to put it down because it's a wonderful experience. I think I had some experiences that were a little difficult as a young woman. Not having the proper management, maybe the proper direction, and if you don't know, they'll take advantage of that.
Okay.
And it was a struggle. So you can get exploited, you get used, you won't get paid, things of the such, and it changes your whole perception on life and people.
Yeah. Being in that business.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So what would be some of the things that you would tell a young model who's excited about it, just coming to you like, well, hey, look, I got this opportunity. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. What's some of the advice that you have to share for?
As a mother of 4 young girls, well, young women now.
Okay.
They've wanted to do those things, and my advice to them were, proper education on maybe even getting a lawyer.
Okay.
You need to have paperwork, and before you sign that paperwork, take it to somebody that knows what this is stating.
Right.
Make sure you get your money, and I know it's exciting. It's, oh my God, they're going to pick me. I'm going to be in this magazine, and it is. And I want them to enjoy it, but do it the right way.
Okay.
You just have to.
Yeah.
So always educate yourself on it. Get your backup, which is your lawyer or somebody that you can trust that's in the business that won't lead you wrong. Definitely.
How did you prepare yourself physically and mentally for like a upcoming shoot or an upcoming job that you were really excited about? This right here. Let's cheers to it then. Cheers. This is one of the ways.
That's one of the ways. Okay. But no, to be honest with you, I'm a creature of habitat. So I have to be in the environment to kind of, it's almost like a cat, you just kind of move into your environment.
Right.
So if they said, hey, we're going to shoot outside, we're going to go to this park, la da da da, and you're there thinking trees, maybe a playground or something of the sorts. And it might not be nothing like that when you get there, right?
You get there.
You bring, 3-4 suitcases of different wardrobe and shoes and jewelry. But I like to be where I go in and I look and I see and I feel the vibe. And then I can mentally prepare how I'm going to go into this shoot. What I'm going, not just wear, but your mentality.
Okay.
Because you're the feature, So, and I love to be behind the camera. I always loved when it was time to shoot. I turned into something else that you've never seen before.
Okay.
So it was fun for me, but I have to, kind of like your studio. You kind of come in and you feel it out, like, oh, this is nice. I
can do this.
I know what I can do, So it's just it's like an artist. You get the canvas, or you see an image, and you know what you're gonna do.
So dealing with different directors, how do you approach taking direction from different directors, especially when they have their different ways of doing things?
I've never had any issue. They kind of like, this is your floor. Do what you want. And now Playboy was different. They have their set. They want you to look and see and be what they want you to be. And it wasn't to the point where it was like, oh, I can't do this, But for the most part, I never ran into those issues because you're really the content creator.
Right.
So you have to make the magic happen.
Okay.
And that was always the challenge too, because you about to feel like I'm the spotlight. Maybe I just need that drink.
you need hold on. Can I get one more?
Just a little bit.
So you never deal with like a pushy director or one that you work with. And you was like, where's such and such? Why are they not here?
No, I mean if we were doing a shoot and I was doing something, or they'll be like, you know what, do something like this, pose like this, or say this, or they would just add a little feedback, and it was good to go.
Good to go from there. Yeah. Okay. So you don't have a problem with being a team player?
Not at all.
Okay. All right. I get that from you. I understand that part. Yeah.
We make it do what it do.
So walk us through, or let's talk about any particular time where something happened and it caught you off guard, but you had to stay professional and live in the moment.
Well, each shoot was a little risque.
Okay.
If anybody knows about K Magazine or Maximum, the women are in bikinis or less than.
Right.
So, I think one of the most shocking moments was I had to do a photo shoot in a stairwell with this fur coat.
Hold up, that laugh is so funny. In a stairwell.
Yeah, so we were in a hotel in a stairwell. And I had about 4 or 5 people that were in there shooting and, makeup and everything. And all I had was a fur mink coat.
That's it?
That's it. And then, thigh-high boots. Okay. And I just thought we were just going to kind of do something, quick, whatever.
Yeah.
Drop the coat. As soon as I drop the coat, somebody walks in right there at the stairwell, right where I'm at. So I was like...
Still smile, put the camera.
You just have to keep going with it. You gotta act like you didn't see it, and there's people that sit and they will watch if they see, so it's just kind of like, oh. But that was the most embarrassing moment I had because I had to act as if nothing happened.
They wasn't there. Okay. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure you're well comfortable with your body, but you at that point you like somebody else that you completely don't even know, like, do I move? Do I stop? Do I put the coat back on?
Absolutely. When you're working with your set and your crew, you in that moment, even if they're new, you kind of get to know each other just through the process a little bit, and they're so sweet. But yeah, that was just
one of those moments. Hello. So that was one of the moments that you remember very clearly, and you had to stay professional. Okay.
I had to stay professional.
That's what's up. So dealing with different bartenders, dealing with different models, and that was from Dallas or any other town, and other ones that you met. What do you perceive as a good model and a great model?
I would say for a great model is someone who's learned her craft.
Okay.
Not just comfortable with who she is, but like I said, when you're behind that camera, or in front of that camera, I should say, something that turns in you.
Okay.
Like that you own it
Right.
in a way. And you craft, it don't matter where you are, who walks in, and nothing. You are that craft.
Right.
Like I said, I turned into like a cat. I had my movement, I had my looks. There was nothing that could stop me.
Did you purr?
Let me have another drink.
Yeah, you know I'm gonna ask these questions. Come on, baby. Did you purr?
Maybe we should ask them.
Oh, okay.
Maybe so. I would like to say that I was pretty.
You know, that cat get up on you, then the tail go
rubbing
up.
them.
Did you make him purr?
Probably so.
Probably so. Okay.
So even like Naomi Campbell, to me, she was a beast in the industry.
Right.
Not just with her look, but the way she walked, the way she talked, carried herself. There was just something magical about that woman that I gravitated to. And I think that made her a great model. Okay. And, you know, role model for young girls growing up that wanted to do what she does. Okay. So I think by far she's one of the best. One of the best. In your eyes, the ones that are just kind of mediocre good, or the ones that don't, they're just doing it because they think that, you know, that's all it takes. Okay. And you can kind of tell with these little magazines that open, the ones that they shouldn't have been in that magazine.
They should. That was over the top of them.
Okay. I think they were looking a little desperate. They just need to put something in the magazine. That's those ones. Okay. But you can always tell the ones that are serious about it. And you know, a lot of people take, model, that's... Right. There's a lot of negative feedback on that, you know. But it's a lot that you have to endure. There's a lot that you all have to go through. It's a lot how you had to prepare yourself for. It's like if an NBA player got to prepare yourself for a game. Y'all got to prepare yourself for that whole shoot, that whole day, and how it's going to be looked at afterwards. Yep. Yeah, so there's a lot of preparing. There's a lot of critics to it. Yeah. Yeah. So other than you say Campbell, for instance, you say she's a master at her craft. Other than her, what other iconic models or inspiration, it could be fashion, high fashion, whatever, that really makes you like, that person got it? You know, as I was growing up as a child, you know, my icons were like Janet Jackson, Sade, you know, just things of such. But I never looked at myself being in that industry until it happened. Okay. So I think I took the Naomi Campbell when I got in the industry, like, I got to be like her. Right. Even though it was a little too short to do runway, I still wanted to be as sassy and sexy and significant as she was. Okay, okay. So that makes a lot of sense. I would probably say more so her. Okay. So after the modeling, you were like, okay, what's some of the things that drove you away from modeling, should I say? Well, not only age. I think you still could model if you ask me, but that's just me. Thank you. You know, there's a time where you want to start settling down. You want to get out of some things and have a family or marriage or wherever that goes. Okay. I never really saw my life as being a model. You know, life has its way of changing things. So eventually I just got tired. Okay. And I just wanted something different in my life. Okay. So I had to get out. So when you decide, okay, I want to have kids, I want to settle down, I want to change my lifestyle. What are some of the things that you were interested or passionate about that you wanted to pursue? I already had the children. I was a single mother of 4 daughters. So the modeling helped support and provide a lifestyle for me and my daughters. You know, I always thought of myself having my own businesses, be able to travel the world, maybe even live in another country. Okay. I remember we spoke about that vaguely when we first met through text. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it was just challenging for me to try to find that direction because I had lived a lifestyle so long that also paid for the lifestyle that we wanted. And to give that up or to stop, I couldn't because I was a sole provider of the girls. So I didn't know where my life was going to go at that time. Okay.
So at that time, so you didn't know what direction you was going in. You was like,
Feel stuck, yeah.
But it's time to hit the reset button.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, I was burnt out. I was
Yeah,
ready to hit that
out.
button, but I was
Okay.
scared because I can't. No family around me. My family don't live
Here.
around me, you know. So I was by myself with the girls. So it was scary.
Yeah, I can imagine that. I can imagine that. So you drift off into the nightlife world. How did the nightlife world do for you?
The nightlife world was kind of already there, working in the industry, bartending, serving, managing different clubs. So it was always there, but then I had to solely provide on that, which is, you know, anybody who works in that industry, it's draining.
Right.
It's hard, especially if you're a parent. You got to get up in the morning, and you don't get off till 4 or 5 in the morning. It's just it was a lot.
Lunch got to be made for lunch.
You don't go to sleep. You get off work, go home, wake them up, get them off to school,
and keep it smiling
and keep it going. Yeah.
So, what's some of the things that inspired you about running a nightclub?
I think I have a niche.
You have a niche for it?
Yeah, not so much inspiration. It's what I know.
Okay.
I know what it takes. The type of people that you need to have, the personality you need to have. So it's more of a niche.
So I guess it has to be a lot of personality. You talk to a lot of different people all night long, and then when like people become regulars, they want to like expect for you to remember the conversations that you had with them before.
Not even just that, but the more they come, they expect the free thing, you know.
Okay.
And of course, you know, as club owners and managers, when you have your regulars, you hook them up, you give them deals and stuff, and you want to keep them coming.
Right.
But don't always expect stuff for free.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you should expect anything. Like if something happened, then it happened, but you shouldn't expect anything. But I've been in there a few times, and I love the vibe. You see me a couple of times getting into it with y'all DJ. I'll tell him keep playing. He was like, man, I can't keep. I'm like, hey, go ahead. The saxophone guy.
Oh, the sax guy. Yes. He's one of the best. He is good.
Yeah, and every time I come in there, he have the same kind of energy. So that's another thing that drove me to him. Yeah. So So how did you get started in the nightlife? Well, particularly there at CK Lounge.
Well, for CK, because I'm new to the area.
Okay.
I was on TikTok, scrolling places to see, have some drinks.
Okay.
I think I was in town for 2-3 days. And I was actually going to go to DC, but this video popped up of CK and CK Lounge.
Okay.
And it was 5 minutes from the house. So me and a girlfriend of mine went and was greeted by the owner. He was there that night, and we got into a conversation about the business. He's a first-time club owner.
Okay, yeah.
And we were just sharing stories, and he approached me with, well, are you looking for a job? And since I was new to the area, I was like, I am. And he's like, well, I need a bartender. I was like, oh. You know, I had retired the industry, I would say about 10, 11 years ago.
Okay.
So to
come back
was kind of like, that's not the direction I was going to go, but because I am looking for it and I know what I'm doing, I'll take it. So was hired immediately, and within a few weeks, I became the general manager and been running the establishment now for almost 2 years.
Wow. So he looked at you like, this is gold. I need her with me. So okay.
I'm the look.
You go. That's what's up. So that's in a few weeks. When did you like feel that was your on switch? Like, you know what? I'm about to turn this club up.
You know, I didn't know what I was getting myself into.
Okay.
But you know, bartending is the easiest thing. It's just because I've done it for so long, and it's fun.
Okay.
But something grabbed me being in the industry. Not only do I love the African culture, the music and the people, everything was a vibe.
Yeah.
But I know what it takes to run these establishments.
Right.
So he was lacking in some departments because he's first-time owner and he didn't know. And I think he was kind of relying on someone to help him take the reins.
You were seeing some other ways.
And I was the perfect one that came in at the right time. That became my baby.
Okay.
So
And when you get your baby, you
gotta
gotta
take
burp
care of
it.
it.
You
Yes.
gotta burp it. You gotta feed
24
it.
hours around the clock.
So it ain't just no once you get off, it's over. It's more work to do.
No, because there's the visions, the planning, with the employees, the music, the people. It's so much that goes into these industries.
So I remember my first time there. You the one that introduced me to the was it
Suya.
Suya. I was like, man, what is this? And you was like, just try it.
It's a delicacy in Nigeria, and the beef strips are grilled to perfection.
Yeah,
and it's just the taste, the seasoning. It's perfect.
Right.
It's
I took your word on it. Usually time I wouldn't do nothing like that. I'm like, man, let me see what it tastes like. And it was good. Because y'all wings was amazing. I was sold on the wings.
See, and that was before we turned it to jerk.
Okay.
Now it's like a sweet jerk wings, and they're hands down the best.
So next time I'm there, I got to try.
You got to get those wings.
I got to try.
You have to.
I got to try. I'm okay. So what's some of the biggest challenges that you faced in running CK Lounge?
So being that it was fairly new at the time I came on, unfortunately we didn't have the right staff at the time, and it was a challenge trying to have someone like me come in an all African setting, and lay the grounds.
So you have to worry about the staff. You have to worry about the DJ and the security. You
all of it.
You're touching in on all of it. So it was like, I see where you're going. This not right. This not right. This should be changed different. So when you step in there and put your finger on it, you turn into the
had to. It was a struggle. It was a struggle for the first 6 months.
Okay.
Struggle, to say the least.
Okay.
And we had to let, unfortunately, a lot of people go, and I had to bring some new people in, but that was okay because I always feel like whenever you're turning over, always good comes out of that.
Right.
So it started getting better and better and better and better.
Like the butterfly effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got to be a caterpillar to turn into a butterfly. Okay. I get with that. So what are some of the strategies that you brought from the other places that you've been, the other entities that you plugged yourself into? What's some of the strategies that you bring there to keep the club profitable in like its slow seasons?
And not only better team members, the menu changes, the drink changes, different DJs, marketing, because marketing is always number one. It has to keep changing, and you have to keep changing every 6 months to keep things alive and flowing, and whether it's new faces, new music, new food, whatever you got to do to keep it. So you have to plan it. It's calculated.
Okay.
And if you don't, you lose it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what you do to keep everything running like smoothly during the off season. So what are some of the times what's some of the months, should you say, are the slow seasons for you
Summer.
all? Summer. Okay.
A little around the holidays, of course, naturally. But summer, I think, is the biggest hit because we are located in the suburbs.
Okay.
We aren't in the big city. So even in the big city, there's hits during seasons. But I think for us, just experience, it's been more of the summer months. Because people like rooftops or the pool parties or the day parties,
or they just out of town.
And we're more operated from 4 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Okay.
So it's more of a later afternoon.
Right.
And our late nights are great.
Right.
It's the earlier crowds.
Okay. So what's some of the how you handle some of the competitions of different spots that's like you all's or clubs that's in the area? Like how you handle the competition?
I don't feel we have competition. And that's just my opinion. Only because
I guess no competition is good competition.
But there is competition in club. Don't get me wrong. There is competitions, but the way we are, the way we look, is not the competition, right? I see so many hookah lounges that all kind of similar in how they are. For us, it's different. It's more elegant. You wouldn't think that walking up to the place. I get that a lot. People say this is not what they expected, but when you walk in, it's like
wow. You don't want to leave.
No.
Yeah.
So, and in that regards, we are not competition with that. But as a whole, every club and restaurant is always in competition of something new coming up, or your partner down the street. You have to keep up with what's up in today.
Right.
So definitely.
So how do you define the vibe and the identity that you all club have?
You know, I can't compare it to anything else I've been to.
Okay.
You just have to come experience it.
Yeah.
I've traveled the world and I've been to many hookah lounges, and I would say at least this one, hands down, is the most prettiest and elegant one that we have for sure. Clean. The vibe, you just have to come and experience the music, the people, even the cocktails and the food.
I got there one time and it was kind of early. The first time I went, it was a little late and it was jumping. As soon as I got in there, it was jumping. So I got in one time, it was a little early, right? And I was like, well, I guess it's going to pick up. But then I found myself having a nice game of chess right there at the table. They had some glass chess pieces, and I love me some chess.
The crystal pieces, yes.
So I had me a nice little game of chess, and by the time I'm focused on the game and having a few drinks, by the time I look up, there's people everywhere in there, man.
Absolutely. So, well, your 4 to 9 is more your restaurant lounge feel. People come with their computers, they work, it's just chill.
Right.
After 9, we get the DJs, and they come in, and it's turn up time. So
turn up time. Okay.
Yeah.
That's when the shots get thrown around.
Oh yeah.
Okay. That's what's up.
All of that. And platters of suya.
The platters of it. So what kind of crowd did you all attract, and how do you think? Because I know it's an afrobeat kind of. So how do you attract them, and how do you keep them coming back? The
great experience of coming to CK.
Yeah.
The music helps. The music is always phenomenal, whether it's the hip hop, the Afrobeats. We do karaoke on one night. We have ladies' night. We have 3 DJs that compete on a Saturday night. We have our day parties on Sundays. So you get a different vibe on a different day.
Different time. Okay.
And but I think overall, the fun and the experience you have, I make sure that my ladies are very catering to our customers that are coming to make sure you have a great time.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So what do you think about the future of club culture? Like, what do club culture look like in DMV area?
So I don't know much about the DMV area, but in club overall, they're always up and down. So you never know what you're going to get tomorrow or next year. Even just like in this last 2 years, look at how much has changed with the aesthetics. The plants, the pictures, the neon lights, things that are coming up, the rooftops, it's always something changing in the industry. So you never know what tomorrow is going to bring or who's going to open up something. And this is why I say everybody should travel the world.
Yes,
because
I agree. I definitely agree.
It's so much more out there. And when you go to like Dubai, for instance, and you see how their nightclubs come, you have an idea, you come here and you do it. Next thing you know, everybody's biting on you, So it's constantly evolving and changing.
Because you can go to a small country and they don't have anything going there, and you can land there.
You be the one and popping.
do some American things there and land it and be right there. So what's some of the famous people or how can I say artists that visit the club that you know of?
For being such a new club in the industry, we've had about 4 or 5 different artists, and they're from Nigeria. This is a Nigerian-owned business. We had an actor, very famous, and some singers just recently. This past 2 weeks, somebody came in. So they come in, they trickle in. But CK, because they started out unknown, and nobody knew we were here. It is growing. So now everybody knows. Let's go check out CK Lounge. Right. So now we're starting to get consistency.
So, but you've been in the industry for a while, so I know you met a lot of famous people out there when you was plugged in.
I've been in the industry, to be honest, since I was 16.
Okay. We're going to hush that one.
But I've seen some things, done some things, and ran some things. Okay. So I have connects too. So I can make a phone call right now and say, hey, I need you to show up. Can you host the venue for this weekend?
Right.
So it's always good to know people.
Always.
But
always good to know
it's
people.
definitely been a fun ride.
Yeah. So what are some of the mishaps or misunderstood things that people don't really necessarily know about running a nightclub?
Oh, there's so much. That's a loaded question.
Because when people get a little bit of money, they want to open up a club. So as they get a nice little piece of change, say, let me open up a club. Let me see
you can't just have that idea and just open it and think, okay, I built it and now they'll come.
Right.
Unless you have experience in the field, whether it's being in the kitchen or running the floors or even bartending.
Right.
Or maybe even a promoter, let's say, you're behind the scenes in this business where you know what it takes to keep these things going. It's a lot that goes into a restaurant or bar. It is a lot.
Right.
And you want people who are experienced, that know the industry, because they help you evolve,
Right.
So the challenge is when you come in as a newcomer and you don't have the experience, you might not have the marketing tools or tips on how to keep this business going, or how it takes to keep changing the menu or the cooks. It just goes and it goes and it goes and it goes. Right. It's like if you have this place for the last 2 years and you have the same DJ that plays the same song or the same food and the same alcohol, do you think your place is going to thrive? Do you think you're going to continue to keep getting business? You're going to be played out.
Right.
Because we know what we're going to get right here. Let's go over here because they just built something new and they're fun.
Yeah.
So, know your line of business.
That 6-month thing is real critical.
It is. Okay. And you need to know the line of your business. And it keeps changing. So take classes, go to different places, travel, get some new experience in you so you know what to bring back into your industry, your place, and what you want to install in your employees. You got to keep it changing. You have to keep it changing. And if you don't know what you're doing,
going down here real soon.
Very fast.
So you're in the CK Lounge. You're running it. You meet somebody like me, like, you know what, I like this spot. I'm coming back next week. I want a section. We gonna do this thing up. This never will. You get those calls. You're like, okay, all right,
got you.
We gonna make it fun for you.
We gonna make it happen.
We gonna make it happen for you.
Yes.
So let everybody know how to follow CK Lounge.
So you can go on our Instagram page, which is ckandlounge, the initials CK. Also on the website is ckandlounge. If you need to book an event, the phone number is online, and you book through that way. Or you can follow me too, and you can book through me, which is mimis.true.living. Mimis.true.living. Say that one more time. Mimis.true.living.
Okay.
Yes.
So y'all can get in right here with me and have a wonderful experience at the CK Lounge. We're gonna be there soon. We're gonna give y'all some shots of that, so y'all definitely gonna get a nice vibe of that and understand how that goes. So I think that wraps it up for tonight, Mimi. We appreciate you for being here on the On Switch. Thanks a lot. And what'd you say? I had to drag you in here.
You lasso tied me and drug me in. But you got me here.
Got you here. And
but thank you for having me.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Me too.
We lit, we live. Good vibes, good vibes. Like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe. We lit, we live. Good vibes, good vibes. Like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe.